All right, child's pose. Let's start. Oh, go there. Take the knees wider together. Notice what you need. Bring your forehead down, either to the floor or to a block. Take all the tension out of holding your head. Wiggle the hips side to side. And come into your space. This is your time to integrate into your practice. So leaving what's out there behind for 60 minutes. And coming in, tuning in. And really bringing awareness to what you need this morning. Allow the thoughts, allow the chatter to drop. Get out of the headspace. We spend a lot of our time there. We want to get into the physical space. We want to get into the breath, into the heart space, into the body. Go ahead and walk your hands off to the right. Stretch through the left side of your body. Let that left hip drop. So press it towards your left heel. Reach those left fingertips a little further than the right. And then come back to your center. And take it left. Stretch to the right side. Really drop that right hip. So when you drop it, when you press it towards the right heel, you should feel the stretch intensify. And reach the right fingertips a little further than the left. And then come back to the center, scrub your fingertips forward. And then come into tabletop. Take a cat-cow, so inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round, press the floor away, tuck the chin. Take another cow pose, breath in, feel the spine. And as you empty round, tuck the toes, come into down dog. And really press the floor away from you. Let your head drop. Sway the head side to side. Cuddle the feet. Cuddle the palms. Wiggle the hips. What do you need? And then roll forward to plank pose. Press the floor away. Draw your shoulders down your back. Press your heels towards the short end of your mat. So heels back, shoulders back. And then round, soften in the knees, round back, downward dog. And then take it forward, round, plank pose. You're still integrating the spine, round back, down dog. Take a couple more, 2 or 3 more. Round forward, pause, round back. Come to down dog when you're ready. Lift your hips and heels. And then walk to the top. Come Come into ragdoll, so take the feet wide. Grab opposite elbows. Let the head drop. Soften in the knees. Feel the elongation through the length of your spine. And feel that pulling up the back of your legs. Press the feet down. Lift your arches. Make any movement you need. And then release the hands. Roll up. Hands to heart. Take a breath in. Breath out. Reach up, inhale. Soften your knees, bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen. Plank pose, step back. Hold here. Breathe. Shoulders back. Puff up your upper back, so protraction between the shoulder blades. Shift forward and then lower all the way down. Baby cobra, inhale. Lower, exhale. Full cobra, come a little higher. Lower, exhale. Cobra or up dog if you're ready for it. Downward dog, take it back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fill up. Empty. Lift the hips and heels. Soften the knees. Step, walk, or float forward. Halfway lift. Nice flat back. Fold, exhale. Tuck the chin, round up. Reach the arms wide. Take it all the way up. Hands to heart. Pause. And then reach. Lift. Inhale. Soften the knees. Bow forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Lengthen. Plank pose. Step back. Same thing. Get set up. Press the floor away. Press the heels back. Puff up the upper back and then shift forward. Lower down. Baby cobra. Inhale. Lower, exhale. Full cobra. Lift higher. Lower, exhale. Cobra or up dog. If you're up dog, it's just the palms and the tops of the feet. Down dog, empty. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fill up. Empty and soften. Lift the hips, lift the heels. Step, walk, or float on the empty. Halfway lift. Fold. And then round up. Feel the spine. Roll up. Articulate. Hands to heart. Pause. Reach up. Inhale. Soften the knees. Bow forward. Halfway lift. Flat back. Heart forward. High plank pose. Last sun A. Shift forward. Come all the way down. 3 back bends. Baby cobra. Inhale. Lower. Exhale. Full cobra. Lower. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Hips and heels lift. Soften the knees. Step, walk, or float. Step with opposite feet if you remember. Fold. And then come up. So give your brain a little bit of a routine by stepping forward and stepping back with opposite feet each time if you can remember. Right, it should feel awkward. All right, breathe in. And sigh it out. We're going to speed it up. Inhale, reach. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. High plank pose, still step back. Shift forward on the inhale. You decide halfway or all the way down, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog, send it back. Lift your right heel. Bring your knee forward, step it forward, plant the feet, warrior one, rise up. Hands to the mat, chaturanga, high to low push-up. Find your vinyasa, up dog or cobra. We'll meet in down dog. Left heel lifts. Knee pulls in, step forward, warrior one breath, take it up. Hands to the mat, chaturanga dandasana. Up dog cobra, your back bend. Downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your hips. Soften the knees. Step, walk, or float. Halfway lift. Fold. Reach to the ceiling. Stretch up. Take the arms wide. Chair pose. Sink the hips. So if you have shoulder issues and you want to bring the arms into goalpost arms, spread the arms. Drop the elbows towards your hips. Otherwise, stretch the arms out. Let the hips sink. Squeeze everything into midline. So hug it in. You should feel pulling in. So skin, muscle, bone, everything in. Reach, inhale. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. High plank pose. Shift forward. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Lift your right heel. Bring that knee forward. Warrior one, reach up. Hands to the mat, chaturanga dandasana. Exhale. Up dog. Down dog. Lift the left heel. Bring that knee forward, step it. Warrior one, up. Hands to the mat, chaturanga dandasana. Find a little flow, create some heat. Right, let the heat take care of or burn off what you don't need. Breathe and empty. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Hips and heels up, soften the knees. Step, walk, or float forward. Flat back, lift. Fold, exhale. Reach to the ceiling, stretch up. Chair pose, sink the hips. Breathe in. Squeeze as you breathe out. Fill up. And empty. 1 more breath in. Hands to the mat. Halfway lift. High plank pose. Shift your weight forward. Right, stability, lower. Back bend. Down dog. Lift your right heel. Foot forward. Warrior one. Hands to the mat. Vinyasa flow. Whatever works for you, that's where you go. Left heel lifts. Knee forward. Big breath, warrior one. Hands to the mat, chaturanga. Back bend of your choice. Knee down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the hips, heels, soften the knees. Step, walk, or float. Flat back. Fold. Reach the arms wide. Come all the way up. Root down. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Chaturanga dandasana. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your right heel. Yeah, this time bend the knee. Stack the hip. So let that foot drop. And rather than take weight out of that right hand, press the right hand into the floor. Rotate your ankle one direction. And take it the other direction. Stay. Or flip your dog. So if you're flipping, all 10 toes go to the back of the room. Reach the right fingertips forward. Lift the chest. Press into that left palm. Reach your right fingertips up. Flip it over. Side plank. Take the right wrist under the right shoulder. Stack the feet. Side plank, modify. Maybe you drop that bottom knee. And start to lift your left leg. Maybe just a little. Notice the balance. Notice the imbalance. Draw that left knee into your chest. Start to turn left fingertips down. Step the left foot between the hands. With me? Good. Peel it up. Crescent lunge. Leave the back heel lifted. Right, settle into it. Is that left knee bent? Are you rooting into the ball mound of that right foot? Start to lean forward. So hinge so that your chest starts to come over the left thigh. You'll feel that butt muscle, your glute, engage, right, when you're there. And start to float into warrior three. Lift your right heel. So your hips should be square. No external rotation. That's the hard part here. So even if those right toes need to drop, let them drop. And then bring the fingertips down. Lift your right heel. Take a breath in. Curtsy squat, breath out. Lift, inhale, let the head drop. Curtsy squat, exhale. Lift, breath in. Curtsy squat, breath out. Lift and hold. We're gonna go for handstand kick up. Maybe it's just a little donkey kick. Whatever you've got. Handstand kick up to chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more in. One more out. Lift the left heel. Bend your knee. Stack the hip. Press into the left palm. Rotate your ankle. Take it the other direction. And then you decide, stay or flip. If you're flipping, you want to move that right palm so it's under your shoulder so that you're supported. And reach the left fingertips forward. Lift your chest, lift the hips, everything up. And then reach the left fingertips. Take it around, plant that left palm. Side plank. So I'll leave my knee down in this one. You can modify. Do make sure that the shoulder's over the wrist. Otherwise you will not feel balanced. Start to lift the top leg. Start to draw that knee in towards your chest. Drop the right fingertips, step the right foot. Everything's planted. Crescent lunge, rise up. Good. Settle into it. So fidget and then stay still. And then start to hinge forward. Right till you feel that outer right hip engage, quadricep is engaged, and then float left leg up, warrior three. Drop that left hip a little bit if it's not square. And then slowly bring the fingertips down. Lift your left heel, breath in. Curtsy squat, breath out. Lift, inhale. Curtsy squat, exhale. One more, lift. Curtsy squat, really bring it down. And then lift, hold, plant the palms. You're gonna come into some sort of kick up, however you want it. And then you'll end in chaturanga. Back bend. Down dog. And breathe. Fill up and empty. Breath in, breath out. One more full round. Let it go. Lift your right heel. Bring that knee forward. Step it forward. Crescent lunge, rise up. This time we'll take our twist, hands to heart. Lift, twist right. Any amount. You can keep your thumb knuckles plugged into your sternum. Notice if you disconnect, keep it connected. So that might mean you twist a little bit less. And again, you should be feeling it in the outer right hip, at least that muscle engaging. Root into the right foot. Start to lift the left toes. Chair twist. Right, if you fall, you fall. Keep the knees bent. And then slowly come to center, chair pose. And then fold. Take the feet hips distance. Peace sign fingers wrap around the big toes. Heart forward, lift, and fold. Let the head drop. So space. Create space. Create a moment for you to breathe. A moment to check in. A moment to let the thoughts drop. And then release, halfway lift, crow pose or malasana. Elbows bend, knees to the back of the arms. Maybe you float the toes up, maybe just one, maybe none. Press the floor away, round the back. And breathe and stay. And notice, and if you come out, you come out. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, you decide chaturanga, step or float. We'll meet in downward dog. Good. All right, breath in, breath out. Left side lift, bring that foot forward. Crescent lunge. I had a brain fart. I think I'm in the right spot. And then bring your hands to heart. We'll take the twist left. Keep the thumbs pressed into the sternum. Feel the outer left glute engage. Root into your left foot. Start to bring the right foot forward. Chair twist. Sink the hips. Draw that left shoulder back. And then slowly come to center. Chair pose. And then fold. You decide what forward fold you want. Padahastasana, step onto your palms. Typically what's next, right? But you can take the fingers around the big toes or just take a forward fold. Ragdoll, whatever feels good, let the head drop. And again, just tune in, catch up, find your breath. And release, plant the palms. Second crow pose, set up. Maybe it's malasana. Nice. Yeah, so maybe a big toe lifts, maybe it doesn't. On your exhale, float back, chaturanga, if you've got it. Nice. Good. And then up dog to down dog to hips and heels high. Soften the knees. Come forward. Top of the mat, halfway lift. Fold. And then reach to the ceiling. Stretch up. Eagle pose, right arm under. Right leg over. Or just press. Forearms together, palms together. If the shoulders are tight. Find your drishti, or that gazing point. Single pointed focus. See what it is you're looking at. You want to lift your elbows. And soften the shoulders. Squeeze the thighs. And breathe. And empty. And as you inhale, unwind, bring it up. Left side, left arm comes under. Left leg comes over. Breathe. Empty. Unwind, reach up. And bring your hands to heart. Hands to hips. Reach your left arm up. Take your right hand, take to the inseam of the inner arch of your right foot. Squeeze the knee in together. So knees in, squeeze everything in. We're hugging in, coming into dancer pose. So keep that knee squeezed in. We don't want to open it. So it means you might not bend this far, but press your foot into your hand into your foot. Pull. Keep the knee in. And now taking it out to the side. And then once the foot is up as high as it'll go, start to take the bow forward. Gaze towards the top of your mat. Fullest expression. To pull the foot towards your head. Fingers reach forward. And then slowly lower. And switch. Right arm up. Bend the left knee. Grab the arch. So your grip is coming to the inside of that foot, not the outside. Yeah, squeeze the knees together. So knees come in, then start to lift. Once you come as high as you can, start to take a bow forward, just a little tip. Dancer pose, Natrajasana. Yeah, wiggle, wobble, work, and then slowly come down and shake it out. One more balance pose. We'll do tree pose. So root into the left foot and bring the right foot up. Hands to hips, hands to heart, hands to the sky. If you're reaching your arms up, stretch through the entire side body. And then slowly come down. Drop that right foot. The left side. Same thing, hands to heart, hips. Maybe you stretch them up. Reach long with the crown of your head lift. And then slowly come down. Mountain pose. Top of the mat. So bring the feet together, big toes touch. Heels are slightly separated. Palms next to the hips facing forward. And let the shoulders drop. Maybe you have to shake it out a little bit. Close the eyes. Lift your chin so it's parallel to the floor. Lift the crown of your head. You feel this lengthening. And take a deep breath in, fill up. And open your mouth, stick out your tongue. Exhale. A little noise. One more, deep breath in. Lion's pose or lion's breath. Stick out the tongue and let it go. Bend in the knee. Reach the arms forward, big inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen. Chaturanga Dandasana, you can take your vinyasa, high to low push-up, whatever works for you. Down dog on the exhale. We'll step your right foot forward. Warrior one. And open up to warrior two. Straighten that front knee, but don't lock it out. Press into that heel. Reach forward. And then hinge into triangle pose. Root into the heel. Drop the tailbone towards your right heel. Open your left rib cage towards the ceiling. Maybe even take your hand to the rib cage to open. And then extend, reach. Take the gaze down towards your right toes. Bend in the right knee. Plant the right hand. Let the left leg float up. Half moon pose. Maybe a block here is a good idea. And play around. Maybe you start to let the right fingertips float up. Keep that rib cage opening. And then slowly start to bend in the right knee. Set the left foot back. Come up to warrior two. And then straighten that leg. Take the feet towards center. So pivot. Outer edge of your feet should be parallel with the short end of your mat. Toes forward. Side facing forward fold. Your hands to hips, puff up the chest, and bow forward. Soften the knees, come all the way down, bring the hands to the mat, crown of the head down. So let the crown of your head drop. Fingertips should be facing forward, the same direction as your toes. Hug the elbows in so your forearms are parallel and start to walk the hands back. Right as far as you can. So you start to let the crown of your head drop to the floor. And some of you, if you want to take headstand, this is a great space to take it. If your head is on the floor, right, maybe you just start to come up on the toes, one toe then the other. Just get that sensation of headstand. Of the maybe, what's coming. Feel the pull of the crown of head towards the floor. That should feel like a really good release with the mid and upper back up into the neck. You're in a headstand. Go ahead and slowly come down. If you've locked your knees out, soften. Bring your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, come halfway and then come all the way up. Turn and face the left side of your mat in a warrior two. Fingers out. Yeah. So we're facing, if you were in the studio, you'd be facing the back of the studio. Facing the opposite end of your mat, at the back of your mat. Straighten that front knee. Start to reach. Hinge down. Find your triangle pose. Again, take your hand, open the right rib cage towards the ceiling. Just an option. Stretch and open. Press into that left heel. Draw the tailbone down. And then take your gaze towards your left toes. Bend in that left knee. Plant the left hand. Half moon, float up. Gaze can stay down, especially if you're not feeling real steady today. Gaze can go up to the right fingertips if you feel steady. And then slowly start to let the right foot drop all the way down. Plant it. Warrior two. Pivot to the front. Clasp your hands at your low back. Puff up the chest. Keep the hands clasped. Start to bow forward. Soften in the knees. Head all the way down. Crown to the floor. Let the arms dangle overhead. Draw the weight into the ball mounds on your feet and feel your core pull in to keep you from falling. And then release the hands to hips. Come halfway up, flat back. Come all the way up. And then step the feet together, top of the mat. Soften, reach up, inhale. Soften the knees, bow forward. Halfway lift, high plank pose. Then come onto your forearm, so forearm plank. You can clasp hands or not. Press your forearms down. Yeah. Get long, so shoulders still come down the back. Heels press towards the back of your mat. Maybe you drop the knees. What you need. Your shoulders should be over your elbows. You're going to hear me shaking. Hear it in my breath. So breathe. And stay. Pull the belly in. Press the floor away. Take your gaze to the short end of your mat. Keep the neck nice and long. Crown of the head forward. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then lower the hips. Come into Sphinx pose, nice back bend. Keep the elbows under the shoulders. Press the palms, press the forearms down, and then pull them back. So elbows towards the feet. So an isometric pull. They're not going anywhere. But you feel the chest lift a little bit. Oh. And tuck your toes. So press into the elbows, press into the forearms, forearm plank, lift. Right, pull the belly in. Everything's tight. Do 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Slowly lower, Sphinx pose, one more. Maybe you let the head drop, chin to chest. And then press up and back, child's pose. Come nice and slow. So feel the decompression in the spine. Come all the way down. It should feel really good. Tabletop. We'll get into frog, so roll up the corner or the ends of your mat. And bring your block or a bolster or a pillow for your sternum. All right, most of you know where we're going. So you want the knees on the pads, on the cushion. You want your ankles on that folded side so everything's supported. You might want an extra, if you have a blanket, to bring under the knees. But you want your knees at 90-degree angles. So once they're there, then you start to bring your chest down to a block or some sort of support. Some of you can go all the way to the floor. If this is not a pose that you can get into, you'll take the knees as wide as you can and bring the big toes to touch behind you. It creates a diamond shape, and it's tadpole pose. You decide. If you've got it, then you can get into frog. I highly recommend it. And so we'll stay here. And as much silence as we'll give you, right? That's a notice. A very, very, very uncomfortable pose for most of us. A lot going on. And so you notice if you're holding or gripping, especially in your hip flexors, so this point right where the femur bones come into the hips. If you're gripping, you breathe into that space. And can you soften it? Right, be on purpose here. So purposefully soften, release. And be and breathe. And just notice where you need to breathe into. Notice what spaces need the extra attention. Notice the thoughts and the story and the chatter that's coming with the pose. Right? It's on purpose. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. Right? Give you an opportunity to come into discomfort and breathe into it and not run. Pay attention to the story, because chances are it's the same story that comes up every time that you're in an uncomfortable position. Now, I'm not just talking on the mat in frog pose. What's your frog pose off the mat? And what don't you show up for? maybe while you're at home, tucked away in your basement or out on your back porch where maybe no one can hear you, maybe there's some noise that comes up. Maybe there's a little bit of grunting and groaning. Right? When we're in the studio, we tend to hold it in, but maybe. Maybe if there's no one around, you can actually let out a little sound. All right. So to get out, you're either going to slide forward or back. You decide. Then you'll roll your mat back out. And come into a straddle pose. You might not want the heels as open as maybe you normally do. You should feel this kind of stretch. Maybe you keep that block and just bow forward. So let the feet go. Let them kind of flop around. So no holding them right now. Just let them go. So we're all right. I don't know when that cut out, but let the legs flop. So don't flex the feet. And just let the body drop into a forward fold. Maybe you come down to a block. And just let the hip flexors release. It should feel like a counter pose. They're kind of going in the opposite direction of where they just were. And then press up. Bring the legs to center. Keep that left leg extended. Bring the right foot into the left thigh. Maybe you pull your flesh back, reach the arms up, and then bow forward. Let that right knee stay heavy. And see if you can grab whatever it is. If your hands come to the shin, maybe it's just the knee, the shin, to the feet. Maybe around the feet. And keep your heart pulling towards the toes. And then slowly rise up. I'm going to pick up that left foot and take it to the floor, kind of create a pretzel around the right knee. And then take the left hand behind you. Just tent the fingertips. Not a lot of weight goes into them. Reach the right arm up. And then take a twist. Right elbow, right knee, left knee. And create resistance. The more resistance you create, the more you'll feel the stretch. Right? So you can just kind of flop into it, or you can come into it with purpose. And then unwind. Switch sides. Take the right leg out, left foot into the right thigh. Remove the flesh, right, set it up, reach up. When you're ready, bow forward. Heart towards toes. And then come up. Bring the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Right hand tense behind you. Reach the left arm up. Take a twist. So it's not just the back you should feel this. You should feel it in the outer right hip. Well, maybe. And then come back to center. Unwind, take both legs out in front of you, seated forward fold. Reach the arms up. This time do flex the toes towards your face and then reach the heart towards the toes. Forward fold. And slowly come up. Make your way onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Extend the left leg straight, heel to the floor. Draw that right knee in, squeeze gently. And then cross right knee over to the left, supine twist. Reach your right arm out. Take your gaze to the right. And then unwind, switch sides. Take the right leg straight, extend the heel to the floor, draw that left knee in. And let the shoulders soften. Cross left leg over to the right. And take the gaze and your hand to the left. And then unwind. Knees into chest. Hug everything in. And then release into Shavasana. Come all the way down. Find your space. Take up space. Let your body land. Let the arms and legs be comfortably far apart. It's your moment to rest, to allow the practice to assimilate, to notice what your body needs and what it doesn't need. Or just to be. Let go of everything and be, and notice what's left. Right? What is left? Begin to come back to your breath. Begin to come back to your body. And find movements, small movements that lead to larger movements. And so in essence, you're waking up, coming back to the space, back to your mat. And when you're ready, you'll come onto your right or left side. And pause. And then press up to a seat. And pause. Give yourself a little space, a little time before jumping right off into the world, right? Allow the practice to settle in, to notice what you need, to notice what you don't need, to notice how you feel. Right, and then when it's time to step off the mat and into the world, you're just a little bit more prepared, a little bit more ready. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift your heart into your hands. Feel that connection. Thumb knuckles into the sternum. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Open your mouth, sigh it out, let it go. And bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead. Only me sees and honors that light within each of you. Take your light, shine it brightly. Go in peace. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.